This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 908. This is a really weird thing that people do by Ramit Sethi of I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com, and I'm Justin Malik. Happy Wednesday and welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you're new here. This is where I simply read to you every single day of the year, including weekends and holidays. Before we get to today's post coming from Ramit Sethi, thank you to Gusto. Payroll and benefits are hard, especially when you're a small business. You don't have time to be an expert in things like taxes and regulations, and old school payroll providers just aren't built for the way you work today. Gusto is making payroll, benefits, and HR easy for small businesses. Modern technology does the heavy lifting, so it's easy for you to get it right. In fact, 9 out of 10 users say Gusto is easier to use than other payroll solutions. You no longer have to be a big company to get great technology, great benefits, and great service for your team. And to help support the show, Gusto is offering our listeners an exclusive, limited-time deal. Sign up today and you'll get 3 months free once you run your first payroll. Just go to gusto.com/OLD. For now, let's get right to the post as we optimize your life. This is a really weird thing that people do by Ramit Sethi of I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com. If you want to see an insane example of people telling you to settle in life, look no further. Your surrogate Asian father Ramit combs the internet to find examples of internet nutcases who think it's okay to be mediocre at life. I don't allow that. For example, my mom used to ask me why I got a 97% on a test. It sucked back then, but in retrospect, it taught me how to push myself harder. There's a post I stumbled across and couldn't stop reading. In it, a woman asks this, quote, "I have a weird problem and I'm not really sure where to talk about it. Everything I do it 90%. I'm a knitter and a crafter and I went to art school. I'm fully capable of putting my all into everything I do and being wildly successful, but I get up to about 90% before I crap out and give up or cut back. I started weightlifting. Again, the same thing. I started cycling and the same thing happened. Basically, I want to be a hardcore motherfucker at anything I want. I want to ride my bike at 60 miles a week and be hardcore. I want to knit 60 socks a year. I want to work hard and party harder, basically, but I have no fucking energy," end quote. What do you think the reaction is? Do people give her advice on how to build her energy or master her inner psychology or use systems to improve her life? Nope. They tell her she's overreacting and she should be happy with life. Why try harder? That's a lot of work. Negative Nancy comment number 1, quote, "So you basically want to be a robot or superwoman. I'm only half joking. What actually makes you happy? These are perfectly valid reasons not to overextend yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good," end quote. Negative Nancy comment number 2, quote, "Giving 90% is plenty. Would you pour exactly 12 ounces of soda into a 12-ounce cup? Should a 150-pound climber trust a rope with a 150-pound max? If you are giving 100%, you have no margin for error. It means that if anything else gets put on your plate, you've got nothing. Also, life is filled with competing demands. You can't put 100% into any one thing because that would mean you had 0% left for everything else," end quote. Negative Nancy comment number 3, quote, "90% is great. I hit 100% and burn out if I get that high. I have so many things I wish I could do and want to try to do, but I usually hit 1% and quit out of boredom," end quote. Guys, are you fucking kidding me? Notice what's happening. People are telling her to be satisfied with herself, even though she's not happy. This person wants to improve, to become quote unquote hardcore, and when she asks for advice, people tell her to stop wanting more. Can you imagine if someone said she wanted to lose weight and everyone around her said, "You look fine"? Or if someone said, "I want to get into an amazing college," and his parents said, "Why bother applying? You won't get in anyway." Actually, yes, a lot of us can imagine it because we have people around us who would rather we settle for safety than excellence. I learned how to channel my frustration into personal development by surrounding myself with successful people. They taught me the ways they approach productivity, money, dating, entrepreneurship, education, even failure. I listened to what they said, but I also studied what they did. And as I did, Jim Rohn's quote became even more true. Quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," end quote. The key thing to remember is this. It doesn't matter if you live in Kansas or Barcelona. This is the beauty of being alive in 2018. You You can have access to the best people no matter where you live, no matter how old you are, no matter what. No more excuses. No more letting people around you say, "Oh, why bother? You should be happy." Are those the people you want to surround yourselves with? Or do you want something more? You just listened to the post titled, "This is a really weird thing that people do" by Ramit Sethi of I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com. And don't forget to take care of the payroll and benefits for your team. Gusto is offering our listeners an exclusive limited time deal. Sign up today and you'll get 3 months free once you run your first payroll. So go to gusto.com/OLD. And I'll leave it there just to tease for tomorrow. I have a new author on the show. It might be the only article I read from him. Maybe not though. We'll have to see. But he's a pretty popular one, and I think he's a bit different than the typical author narrated here. A lot of his writing focuses on stoicism. If you're into that, you might already know who I'm talking about, but in either case, do stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. Thank you for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow with the new author and where your optimal life awaits.